I like your sweater. I like what is that? Flowers?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's nice.
Of course. Yeah.
I like them. Beautiful. Oh, and that's nice too.
Thank you very much. So are you in Canada right now?
I'm in San Diego, California. I'm on my way to Canada right now in like 20-30 minutes.
Okay, you are from US or Canada?
I'm from a small town. It's called Windsor, Ontario in Canada.
You are from Canada. Okay.
Yes.
Well, Zachary, thank you very much for this interview.
No, thank you for having this. And I'm excited to connect. Hopefully I can answer your questions.
Yeah, but thank you very much for giving time for us. I know that you are in a rush time, but let's do this quickly. I would like to know about yourself. Like, how did you start to doing all these beautiful things about support people? Why?
Mm-hmm. So about a year ago, I was in Sydney, Australia in medical school, and I was depressed. And I made a video at the time to find a friend because I was struggling with my mental health. So the video I did was blindfolded with a sign that said, if you struggle with anxiety or depression, hug me. So I wanted to connect with strangers about vulnerability because I couldn't speak up to people back home in my own life. I went through a 6-year relationship breakup. A week later, I had knee surgery. Medical school was challenging. COVID, I couldn't go back home. I couldn't make new friends. So it was just a culmination of stuff that got me to a breaking point where I needed to like do something, but I didn't know how. So I went to TikTok. I made a video and it blew up. And then I slowly started creating more content that was around vulnerability, relatability, and hopefully empowering people through unconditional love and kindness and mental health, to the point where I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to try to put medical school on hold and see how far I can take this for like a year. So I quit medical school. I flew back home to Canada. I lived in my parents' basement to go from medical school to making TikTok videos. And then within a few months, this thing's really just snowballed out of control. Now I get to travel the world where it's scaled to now blessing strangers, whether it's through raising a lot of money, whether it's still giving blindfolded hugs, whether it's taking strangers on these experiences, to maybe whatever you saw in the content that reached out for this interview. So it's all about unconditional love and kindness. And now my goal is to make that universal, whether it doesn't English or Spanish, it doesn't matter. You can still transmit the same vibration.
Exactly. The vibration, the meaning of the image is important. It's meaningful. You don't need to speak Spanish to make us understand the message. But
absolutely.
How do you choose the people that you support?
It's through, honestly, my intuition. I just have conversations with strangers on the street and I ask them for favors or ask them random questions. And if I feel like it's the right situation, then I'll just keep it going to the point that I have something in mind or whatever it is. It just happens every single time, whether it's the money, whether it's the experience, whatever it is, it always goes to the right person. So intuition and just a feeling of connection in the conversation.
Now you say that you have been doing this in all around the world. Like where, for example?
Australia, Mexico, Canada, the US, and then next month, or this month, actually in 2 weeks, overseas in Europe, Portugal and Germany are the next 2 countries. So, and then I want to go to India and in South Africa as well before the end of the year.
How do you choose the city or the country?
Honestly, someone reaches out. If there's a nonprofit or there's just there's no reason. It is so much opportunity. There's no one right answer. It's just whatever feels right next country, then I go to the next one.
Or the foundation, then what?
When I was in medical school, I had like a 5 and 10 year plan. Now I have like a 6-month plan. So it changes by day. It happens very fast. And like an hour ago, actually, we gave a car away to a stranger on the street. We just gave a car away. And I wasn't supposed to do that this morning. So it was a formerly homeless gentleman. I asked him for $1 because I was short for the bus. And he said he was homeless, he doesn't have any money. He's like, you know what? Let me see. And he pulled out of his backpack his last $1. He gave me his last $1. And we had a conversation. Sorry about that. I'll wait for this to stop. Sorry, to the airport. So in San Diego. So I asked him, I said, why'd you do that? He shared why, like he said, he struggled himself.
Oh, sorry. How many times do you still have? It's 3:21.
Like 10, oh, sorry. I won't get off topic. Yeah, like 10 minutes. Let's go to till the 30-minute mark. You can ask the next question. I'm sorry.
I am looking at the time, okay. You was telling me about that experience with the car.
Yeah, I always find that the people who have the least give the most. And my goal is to hopefully that there's a butterfly effect in what I do. So if there's a video with 10 million views, if 1% of 1% are then inspired to do a small change in their own life to give back, the only way to really understand that like giving is actually selfish is through like the experience itself. So if you can just do it once, you'll recognize that, wow, I feel so much more fulfilled myself than anything I could do for my own self. Like getting any like new clothes, haircut, all that stuff is insignificant in comparison to what you can do if you serve or give to others. So video form is the way I can get that message across.
That's nice. What is the one that you feel more proud about what you did for that person?
It would have been 2 months ago in Harlem, New York. It was a guy who was struggling with paying for rent. He's like, can someone help me on the street? 65-year-old man, his name is Michael. He was in a wheelchair. And he's like, can you help me? I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I need $195 for rent. Otherwise, tomorrow I'm going to be evicted out of my apartment. He's sitting in a wheelchair. It's an older man. And I said, actually, I'm staying like a couple blocks away. Do you have a couple of quarters for the bus? And I'll come back. And this guy has no money. He's like, yeah, take whatever you need. He's like, oh, this cop is like, you need a quarter? How many quarters do you need? And he just gave without having. And I asked him, what's his message to the world? And he said, color means nothing. So the video, posted it. Video had like 85 million views. Come back the next day, and in less than 24 hours, we raised $50,000 for him. We brought strangers together. In total, we raised about $85,000 for him. But it was the beautiful thing is it was in Harlem, New York on 127th Street to be specific. I put up a story that night saying, anyone can help me. I'm not from the area. Can someone help me? Because it's happening so fast. 7 strangers who live on the exact same block as him, a grocery store person, someone who owns a bank, someone who owns a barbershop, someone who's in charge of like Times Square, like the billboards, all these strangers came together somehow on the same block. And he said, the best thing wasn't the money. The best thing is I haven't had a friend in 7 years. And now I have 8 new friends. So that story of everything was what was probably most.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Like the story that you did in Mexico. Tell me about that experience with a Mexican guy that you gave him the money. The handcraft. He do handcraft.
I wasn't gonna make a video. I was actually walking to go do my laundry, and I see this guy. He's sitting there, and I saw him handcrafting. Like I was painting it as I was walking by. So
I'm sorry. In fact, I don't know. It was in Mexico or which country?
Yep. Yeah, it was in Playa del Carmen.
Oh, okay. Right. Tell me that experience.
Yeah. So I asked him. I said I saw him painting. I was like, "Hey, man, how are you?" I'm like, how much for one of these bowls? He said, it's $50 American dollars. I said, did you make them? He's like, yeah, I've been making them for like 20 years. I actually live 3 blocks away and I have more bowls. I'm like, how many bowls do you have in total? Counting his head. He's like, I have 7 bowls. I'm like, what's the best you can do? He's like, did his math in his head. He said $240. So he went from $50 a bowl. So if it was 50 times 7. So instead of $350, he was going to do it for $240 for me. So he gave me a fair discount. And I said, I really love the bowls. And he said, what did he say? When I said 240, he's like, deal. Okay. I'm like, how can I give you, because I had pesos, I didn't have American money. So the equivalent of 500, it's like, I give you 10,000 pesos instead. And he was confused. And this is what kind of like bothered me is he said no, immediately says no, because his thought wasn't that I was giving him more money. I think his thought was that I was a tourist trying to like, see if I can take something out of like, maybe he thought I said 1,000 pesos. Like he immediately said no. And then once he understood what it was, he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yes. But it's immediate. So like, I feel like my goal was, I find that a lot of street vendors, although they are working and they get taken advantage of and people try to barter them and bring them down. And a lot of them, especially the ones when I can see someone's literally handcrafting their beautiful work. He says it takes him, 24 hours to complete a bowl from start to finish with like time in between to like sell his beautiful art for $50. Like that's a steal. So I told him how good, as beautiful his work was. I wanted for 10,000 pesos. He said yes. And then I said, all I want is actually 1 bowl. So I try whenever I do these things to keep one of the items as a memory for myself. And then he obviously was very emotional and appreciative. And yeah, I just wish my only wish in that situation was that he had a website. I asked him if he had a website or Instagram to sell them because I wanted people who follow me to then buy his stuff. But it was just a more so an appreciation for the work that I know that they do from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. every single day. And especially him, you can tell when there's some that are just like, it's from their heart. He literally was so proud of his art. He wanted me to come back to his home to see the other pieces. Like, didn't need to. So yeah.
And your story turned viral. Did you know that? No, in Mexico, your story is viral.
I never knew that because I don't follow like the Mexican news, but I saw a bunch of articles on it. Someone sent me that. Yeah, that's crazy.
How do you feel about it?
Overwhelmed and just appreciative that good stuff can go viral, not just like bad stuff on the news.
Exactly, that's the good viral news. Just tell me quickly the first video that was viral, your video that you did, the first one that was viral, and you realized that you're a good TikToker. So which video was that?
The first one would have to be a sign that said, your vaccination status won't change how much I love you. So that was the sign I was holding inside of a mall back home. Your vaccination status won't change how much I love you. And the message was about unconditional love, but whatever you use, the V word, the vaccine word, it really polarized people's opinions. And it wasn't about pro-vax or anti-vax, it was about love. And that video was the first one to take off.
That's amazing. And now in the future, are you going to come back to your career as a medic, as a doctor, or no? You will be more motivational.
I have no plans. Right now, I'm in the process of starting my own nonprofit charity. So my goal now is to continue doing what I'm doing, but at a bigger scale in charity form.
Okay, which is the people that support you? Just the followers, any follower?
Oh yeah, I have. So now brands have been fortunate enough to help sponsor what I'm doing, but my following. So the most beautiful thing is essentially I orchestrate. I'm just the middleman. I show the internet these kind strangers, and then the kind strangers, and then there's millions of online kind strangers who donate money or whatever it is. Like, I'm just like the messenger of like love and money, and like it's the beautiful thing. It's not me at all. I just am showing it. I have nothing to do with it. I'm just very.
How old are you,
part of it.
Exactly.
29.
29. Wow, you're very young. Well, congratulations for all your work, Zachary. Something that would you like to add? You have a beautiful heart, by the way. What is the message that would you like to add?
My message is to speak to people as if they're going through something, because you never know what people are going through.
That's right. You never know. That's why comprehension. Understand the other.
It's invisible too, right? I could be smiling or sad, but yeah, you never know. So yeah,
what is behind? What is behind? Thank you. To finish this, I always do this. Like I say, my name is Karina Nova, and you say, and I am Zachary from Canada.
Okay, let's do it.
And then I say, y esto es, and this is, and both say it al extremo.
Al extremo. Okay, ready?
Yeah, with his hands like this. Yeah, perfect. 1, 2, 3. Right. Mi nombre es Karina Nova.
And my name is Zachary from Canada.
Y esto es Al Extremo.
Al Extremo.
Okay, perfect.
No problem. Thank you so much. Send me the link when you post it.
Yeah, exactly. Take care.
Amazing. Bye, Karina.
Bye-bye.